welcome to Unwritten Stories of Significance. I have a show for you tonight. I have a young man attending Ottawa University, Drayton Mulindabigwi Jabo. He is here to share with you his story of significance. This is a man that's on a mission. He is not holding back, and he is going to inspire you. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Drayton Mulindabigwi Jabo. Hi, Drayton.
Hey, Joy. How are you doing?
Good, my love. Did I do your last name? Did I do your name correctly?
You did good. You did good.
Yeah. Okay. All right, honey. All right. I know you're going to have a laugh there, but anyway, it's all good, honey. Welcome to Unwritten Stories of Significance, hon. I am so blessed to have you on. I really am.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very excited.
No, you're welcome, hon. Now, I know about you, but our viewers do not. So if you'd like to introduce yourself to us, and we'll get this beautiful story on the go.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Like you said, my name is Drayton. I am a University of Ottawa student. I'm going into my fourth year in health sciences. And I'm also lucky enough to have a startup under my belt. It's called 20 Today, 20 Tomorrow. It's been running for about 2 years. It's going to be about 2 years, or a bit over 2 years, but it's going to be officially running for 2 years very soon. And I'm from Rwanda. I was born there. I came here in 2008. And there's more stuff, but I guess I'll stop there for now.
That's okay. No, that was a great introduction. Awesome. So you came to Canada from Rwanda?
Yeah,
All
came to
right.
Canada from Rwanda. Mhm.
Okay, and how old were you at the time?
I believe I was 7, 8 when I first came to Canada.
All right. Do you remember when you actually came? Like, do you remember? Because it's a different change coming from Rwanda to Canada. Do you remember what that was like?
I do remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
I
okay.
it was good times. I've always been like a person that was really excited about change
Yes.
and being able to shift in different things. So when I was told that we're coming to Canada, lots of excitement. And stepping foot in this new country was revolutionary for me. And I still remember everything from like the plane ride to the arrival to obviously the first snow and all those other experiences. Very vivid, and I very much enjoyed my start of life in Canada.
Okay, so when you said first snow, when did you arrive? What month?
I arrived like during summertime, so
Oh,
it was a
okay.
bit
All right.
before. Yeah, it was a bit before the snow. But then we started with school, and a bit into school, then there was the first snowfall, and it was magic.
Beautiful. Did you come over with your parents or?
Yeah. I came over with my parents. It was me, my brothers, and my mom, and my dad was already in Canada, so he came here to join him. But yeah, the whole family came, and we've been living here for 12, 13 years about now. Yeah.
Beautiful, hon. When you got settled in, we're going to get into your great initiatives and your business and what you want to do with young people. And it's just so fascinating, guys. But when you first came and going to school,
Yeah.
um, how did you adapt? Like, how did how different was it? Just explain to the viewers so they can understand.
I think that obviously there's a lot of differences. There's a lot of
Yes.
differences in terms of like how you study, how things are taught to you. I think definitely like the system. Well, back then when I was like still young,
Yes.
the way we were learning was very different from here. It was very much like you were categorized in a sense, like you were set apart, like you had to like you were ranked basically, and all of that
Right.
was different here because it wasn't the same.
Right.
Um, like back then, like we had like first of class, second of class, and so on and so forth. And it was like a big thing, and like it was something you had to strive for every year. And it was like for like honor almost. And then
Yeah.
coming to Canada, like none of that really mattered. It was more like you do your work and you're kind of given what you deserve, and that's like okay, like no one else is in the picture in a sense.
Right.
And then there's also other small changes in terms of like how teachers are bringing their materials forward. But all of that, I think, like being young and like kind of like with the type of person that I am, and like my personality, like I was able to adapt really, really fast. I think I'm a very fast learner, so I was able to catch on to things very fast. I when I arrived, I spoke French,
Mm,
so it was like it was already an add-on, and like I was going to a French school, so then I had to like I eventually learned English as school was going around. I don't even remember how I picked it up, but I ended up speaking English as well.
you're smart. You're very smart.
Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely like my ability to learn things very fast is what kind of helped me propel and adapt faster in a sense.
Okay. I like to ask questions that create content of conversation. So I'm going to have you reel it back now. All right. When you said ranked,
Yeah.
when you said, okay, what can you educate the viewers on that? Because students need to know what the opportunities they have here in Canada and what you embrace with what you've created.
Yeah, so I think so like I guess to kind of explain that like that
Yes.
whole ranking system basically you would be in a class and like you're in grade 2, so you'd have a grade 2 class, and then I don't quite remember if it's like every year or every semester you would be like you'd get report cards back, and basically the students with like the highest level of grades like would be ranked first, and then like everyone else would follow according to like your grading, right?
Right.
And then this was like it was very ceremonial. Like they would have like it would be the whole school would be around, and then they would start like grade 1, grade 2, and then like students would kind of go forward as they call your classes, and you'd kind of like stand up and rank according to how you did that semester or that year. So like yeah, that's kind of a quick blurb of what that whole thing looked like.
All right, my love. So why did your parents choose to come to Canada, hon?
So I think a lot of it had to do with like opportunities, like you were talking about.
Yes.
There's definitely a lot of opportunities that they were able to tap into, both like person on a personal level, like for my parents, but also specifically for us, in terms of like education system.
Yes.
Um, Getting an education here is definitely opens more doors than like an education from Rwanda. Um, and I think they were able to catch on to that like fast, so they were able to like do the process to make the move happen. Um, and then from there, it just like opened different doors for them personally and for us as a family. So still very, very grateful for their move.
That's right, hon. You know, when you're young, right? What age did you say again? 7, 8?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so you were 7, 8. When I came to Canada in 1975, it was full of snow, hon. Full of snow in February. Like there was white snow everywhere. But long story short, at 13 years old, I came. It was hard for me to adapt because I'd left all my friends there. But now that I'm older, and now yourself, you're older, you kind of appreciate them
yeah,
making that move, right? So that's why I wanted to bring that to the forefront of the
definitely.
conversation. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful. And what does your parents do?
So my dad, now he's an immigration consultant. He owns his own business.
Beautiful.
Um, and my mom, she's a nurse, but she's also in the process of like starting her own nutrition business as
Awesome.
well. Um, yeah, so that's kind of
Awesome.
what
And
they
your
do.
siblings, what is your sibling? How old are your siblings and how many?
So I have two younger brothers. I'm
Okay.
the oldest. I have one, he's 20, and then the other one is younger, he's 13. And all in school. Like the younger one is still in high school, just started high school.
Yes.
And then the other one is also in university, going into third year.
Okay. So 4 years now. This is going, so you're 4 years at university now, right?
Yes, going to be 4 years. Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to be 4 years when you go back in September.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Okay. So how do you feel about that coming to the end of your post-secondary? I like to ask that. How do you feel?
Very, very, very excited. Let me tell you, like burning with excitement from for this. It's definitely been a journey. Like I
Yes.
initially I'm in health sciences, right? So initially I went into health sciences, wanting to get into medicine, right? But then first year is when I started the business, and it opened a whole new door and everything. And it drew me to like a passion I didn't know I had, but I had
Mm-hmm.
in me for creativity and like innovation. And from that, I was like, I realized very quickly I wasn't going to be able to just work in the health field or just one specific field. I wanted to create, I wanted to innovate in many different ways and many different fields and work in all these different things. So then I geared towards this like new kind of thing I found called like psychology of creativity and innovation.
Okay.
Um, and so I'm trying to get into that and do a master's, PhD, and all that good stuff. So I'm very excited, very excited.
So school isn't finished yet.
Absolutely not. No, I love
Oh,
learning, and I think I'll learn until I can't.
well, I'm going to say to you right now, God bless you. Because that
Thank you.
is good. That is good. We've only got 3 minutes left before we go to break. And I just want you to introduce your business, and then we're going to elaborate more on our segment, on our episode, on our segment two there. But what is the name of this beautiful business that you founded within the pandemic?
Yeah, so it's called 20 Today, 20 Tomorrow. And
Okay.
it's basically I coined it to be like the biggest youth-led creative hub. We
Yes.
work on developing different types of social innovations, and a lot of cool stuff that we'll get into, but that's a blurb of what it is and what we do.
Okay, real quickly now, how did you choose that title? 20 today, 20 tomorrow. Like what that, like where did that come from?
I mean, yeah, that's a good question. So it came from like the obvious, like the initial. We wanted to kind of represent, almost like stamp in history, the time that we started. Like this is when things became right. So and it started in 2020, right?
Okay.
Um, and part of that we wanted to show a shift where like you go from having problems to having creating solutions, right?
Ah,
Being like our mandate, being like this problem solving, we wanted to find a way to make that in one name. So we added it today and tomorrow to emphasize on how like things today are always different tomorrow. So there's opportunities for a lot of growth and potential. So we put it together, and it was really really catchy, and we were like, yeah, that's the one.
awesome, hon. And on that note, very, very well said. And on that note, we'll be right back with Drayton. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Unwritten Stories of Significance with my amazing guest, Drayton, founder of 20 Today, 20 Tomorrow. That's good. I like that.
It's catchy, right?
Yeah, that's catchy. That's catchy. So welcome back, Drayton. That was a awesome, awesome first segment there, honey. Awesome. So I want to dive into this because you talked about the meaning of the title of your
Mhm.
company. But if you can just bring that back again, why that title, just to start the conversation from there, because it's so cool.
Yeah, no, yeah, so it kind of stems from us wanting to come almost like stamp um ourselves in like history by choosing 2020 as like the year we started or the idea came to life basically. And then from there we wanted to promote our mandate, which is like problem solving and kind of getting in the depth of that and creating a positive kind of narrative around like the social problems we have. Yeah, we can fix them and we can develop things and we can innovate, right? So we added the today and tomorrow to kind of show that transition and show that like that growth is possible almost. Yeah.
You know, Drayton, when I'm listening to you talk right now, my mind's going. Grrr. The reason why, no, the reason why it is because it excites me because many of the show's stories, Unwritten, has young people that have put together businesses, initiatives, whatever, through the pandemic. But I'm going to have you reel it back. Do you
Mhm.
remember how you came up with this? And you went, I'd like to start something. Like you're locked in a room, you can't go nowhere. And all of a sudden, this idea came to you.
Yeah, I do remember it very well. I'm a
Go for it.
person who likes to journal a lot, so I actually like can read back and see where and when it started. So it really stems from almost like boredom, but also like just this urge to want to do something more
Yes.
with my life and add more meaning to like the existence and kind of try to um I've actually developed this theory in this past few years, like why I started it and why I felt the way I felt. And I link it back to this thing I like to call childhood feels. And I believe it's like this sensation you have like growing up um, that you almost keep chasing in your life and you want to kind of feel that again at some point in your life. And it's kind of becomes like a drive for you. And for me, I was trying to see what that was, and it kind of gave me like this sense of like this grandiose thing. And then when I started looking into like innovation, and I had all these ideas and of different things I could do, all these things that can help solve social problems. I was like, it would be really cool to have like a hub or something that can contain all of that and I was sure that there was other young people out there with great ideas, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
with this hub, we can all come together and use our bright minds to solve the problems that we face every day, right? So then I was like, that would be really cool. And then one day I was like, let's just do it. Why not? And then it started.
So that is phenomenal. So it's 2 years right now, 2 years.
Yeah. 2 years since the official like conception of it. But the idea came about 3 years ago because it's 2020. But
Right.
2021 is when it officially started and the team was together and we launched it. But yeah, so about 2 years.
Wow. Wow. When you say this is the largest hub, why is it the largest hub? Like, is anything else out there like it? Like, why is it the largest hub?
I say that because I believe that there's nothing else like it out there. There's no hub that actually engages young people to the level that we do. We do like engagement, but also like it's almost because there's engaging youth, but there's also like bringing them to the solving problem table
Yes.
almost, right?
Proactive, proactive.
Yeah, proactiveness. Like the things we work on, the things that we do are actually impactful, right? So these are like we go to say that young people have great ideas, but what we do is we tell them you have great ideas that can become reality,
That's
right? And
right.
we make that process happen, and the team is growing. The team of innovators is growing. So I think that kind of makes us, the biggest hub.
No, that is phenomenal. Can you give me one that you've done that your team has put
Absolutely.
out there and it's, what I mean? Like, give us some example. Like, give us one.
I got you. I can. So I have two actually, and
Okay, you can
I,
take
I
two.
have I have one that I think is the coolest, and one that I think like the one that was the most exciting one, right? To
Yes.
make. So the coolest one is our mental health initiative. It's called Heal Mind, and it's basically this concept to help destigmatize mental health in youth and ways to make like mental health more like tangible and more comprehensive almost in a very fun and interactive way. So we have many different projects in this area. And our first project was the Heal Mind sticker project. And basically what we did, we recognized that, mental health resources were out there, but there was no easy access. There's no like fun and interactive way to reach those mental health
Yes.
resources. So we created what we call like the Heal Mind sticker. And it's basically a sticker with like the Heal Mind character on it, and it says like it's okay to not be okay. And then it has a special technology where you can hover your phone over the sticker and have like instant access to mental health resources that
What?
that's out there. Yeah, so that's like the coolest one because when it came out, I was like, wow. And then I tried it and I was like, damn, like it works.
Oh
Because I
my
thought it was,
Lord.
it was yeah. So that was the coolest one so far.
So that is immediate if you think of it. That's immediate.
Exactly, exactly. It really brings that straight connection and more to it too. We thought it kind of steps away from like using socials and social media. So you still use your phone, but you don't have to like go through the social media channels and all these other things that also have like negative impact on your mental health. So
Yes.
we were like straight to the point, something physical, some people can like tangibly see and interact with at the same time.
Right.
So
You
yeah.
know something phenomenal, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Like I'm thinking right now, okay, what's the right questions to ask? No, no, no. That was incredible. Now, as a young person now, it's an ongoing conversation. I know COVID was here, okay, but I hear there's a rise. So what are your concerns with it as a young person and why you're doing what you do?
So I mean, a rise in what exactly?
In mental health, in young
Yeah.
people just dealing with it. Like it's an ongoing conversation everywhere I go. And I'm telling you, it's ongoing. Like I have anxiety, I have depression. Like, talk to me there, Drayton. Tell me.
I think there's a lot of things obviously that come into account when these conversations are brought up, and there's like a lot of factors that go into play
Right.
um, with the rise of mental health problems, and it's also can be because people are becoming more open about it,
Okay.
and they're speaking more about it, which is absolutely a great thing.
Yes.
And like the way I see it as an opportunity. I see it as an opportunity because um, there's always going to be like problems, right? So like
That's right.
the fact that there's a rise means that there's more of an importance and like an emphasis to solve these problems, right?
Right.
We have to kind of like shift our attention to it and try to solve it. So it's about getting as many people involved, getting all groups that are involved. And mental health touches everyone, right? So like getting everyone involved in the problem solving and making and finding solutions. So I as much as it can be seen as like a negative thing, there's also a lot of positives attached to it, right?
Yes.
And there's always opportunities. And as like an innovator, I think that's good. Like that's where it is. It's if there's problems, we need to solve them.
That is it, my love. And how many people is in 20 today, 20 tomorrow? Who's your team? How many?
Yeah, so our core team is of 6 people,
Right.
but we have a growing team of innovators. We're about to reach 25, if I'm
What?
not mistaken. Yeah, 25 young innovators who are hungry to change, who are very motivated, and who are so creative. Like the sort of things they come up with, it's incredible.
Beautiful. Well, you know something? You've just tapped in on it. You've tapped in on it, you've ignited it, and you provided the platform for them to utilize it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think
That's
there's a
what you've
lot.
done.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that is amazing, hon. Amazing. What is your up and coming event right now? Do you have anyone is in the works right now that you're doing?
We actually had one last Friday. Um,
Okay.
that was the one that I said is the most exciting one to make. It was basically this. It's called Inspire the Next,
Yes.
and it's just a series of different mediums and platforms to help youth inspire other youth.
Beautiful.
So it started off as a podcast. We thought it was very cool, but we wanted to make it bigger and change it up a bit. So we turned it into a live show. So people live talk show, people can come as an audience, and there's like an
Ah,
interactive portion to it. And then there's like the whole filming, and it lasts about an hour, and then we leave the rest of the time for young people to network and connect with each other. And it was more like a whole experience instead of just like podcasting, right? But we had that last Friday. It was went really well. Our guests, our performers, all of that was incredible. We had a really good turnout. So many young people came. It's inspiring to see.
That is my love. That is so, so good. That really is. I'd like to keep you longer, but we're coming up to the end of this segment, honey. What sentence or what quote can you leave with our viewers from Drayton?
Yeah, I mean it might be a bit corny, but dream big. I stick by that, and I think for the rest of my life I will. There's always possibilities out there. I think it's just why not dream to the fullest of extent that you can, you know. So if there's anything, it's just dream big.
Thank you so much, Drayton, founder of 20 Today, 20 Tomorrow. You're going to come back, right?
I will, I will. It was
You
so
got it, my
pleasure
love.
having you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Bye.